What's up, guys? It's Adrian. First, I want to say thank you for taking the time to invest in yourself. What I'm going to show you guys in this presentation is going to help you a lot, especially when it comes to building your brand and building the foundation for yourself as an artist. A lot of the time when I'm consulting artists and showing them the process, they want me to immediately go into running ads for them and trying to get exposure for them. But I came to the realization that um, if an artist does not have their foundation built, it doesn't even make sense for me to work with them, because what happens is if you start running and driving traffic to someone and they don't have the foundation built, then they're going to have a super high bounce rate. And basically, what a bounce rate is say you go to a website and you leave the website immediately. The reason you leave the website immediately is because there's something that's not captivating enough about that website. So that's similar to when it comes to an artist. If you find an artist and there's nothing already there for them, nothing built, um, nothing that separates them from anyone else, the artist is going to have a really high bounce rate. So, the way to resolve that is to build your foundation. And this presentation is all about building your foundation. I'm going to try to go through this without stopping. If I make any mistakes, then that you're just gonna have to deal with it and live with it. I'm all about trying to be authentic and real, so I want you to see this in real time. So yeah, so this base presentation is basically about artist development. I have these initial calls with artists all the time, but instead I wanted to actually create a presentation about it so you can watch this and study it as many times as you need so you can build your foundation. So I'm going to start off with telling you a little bit about me. I'm also an artist. I go by Unseen, and I'm a melodic house and techno producer. Um, I also started as an artist before becoming a marketer, and as an artist, I also struggled with a lot of this. I didn't have a foundation built, but once I started building my foundation, I started getting picked up by a lot of record labels and a lot of bookers or agencies who want to work with me because they saw the potential. So I'm signed to tons of labels already, have worked with many agencies, and I also have made it in the top 100s for a couple of different genres. Those are my Instagram handles if you want to go check it out. So, just to tell you a little bit more about me besides the artist side, I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a marketer. My background's in digital marketing. What I used to do for companies is I used to do lead gen. And what lead gen is basically a company will come to me and go like, hey, I need more clients. I need more sales. I want to make more money from my product. So what I did was I created funnels. I created pages, landing pages. I created systems and of automations to help companies and brands sell more products. So as a result of that, I've helped tons and tons of companies and brands make millions of dollars. And this also brought me to wanting to work in the e-commerce space. I've helped companies sell tons and tons of products online. Now, why is this relevant? Because when it comes to growing and building a company, it's the same exact principles for building an artist and individual. So my experience in this, I didn't want to be, or wasn't satisfied helping large corporations and large companies, or even companies, because they had the liquidity. And a lot of artists, they don't have the support or the know-how or the team or any of that. So I felt more of a calling to help artists, help smaller brands, help individuals get more success using the same principles. So the story is that I used to be a club promoter. I used to be in the clubs every single day. After I left corporate America, used to work on Wall Street on literally on trading floors, also in marketing for other companies. And in nightlife, I kept meeting so many talented people, tons and tons of talented artists, creators, designers. But every time I spoke to them, they were all super, super unhappy. Why were they unhappy? Because they were forced to work a 9-to-5 job that they hated. And the reason they were working these 9-to-5 jobs because they didn't know how to monetize their passion. So I started Artlit, which is a marketing agency to help artists to monetize their passion, because no one knows how to do this. For some reason, no artist really knows how to market themselves. So I saw a need in the market, and I created an agency to help a bunch more artists and creatives and small brands to monetize their passion. So yeah, my agency we've worked with tons and tons of artists of many different genres, of many types, from painters to photographers, videographers, to designers, to illustrators, basically any type of artist you could think of, dancers, any type of artist you could think of, I've worked with and I've helped build them. So the principles work. What I'm going to show you actually works. So just to go over the agenda real quick, we're going to go over goal setting. We're going to go over branding and positioning, content marketing, data and optimization, and then if there's any questions, I'll have a Q&A. But I just want to set the agenda for this so you guys are aware of the process we're going to go through. So the music business structure. So this is the exact structure that I use to build all the brands and organizations that I worked with. The first two I want to go over is basically, it's more of a self thing. So it's more like networking and sales. These are things that the individual can control. Networking has, at first I didn't realize how important it was, but after interviewing a lot of big artists, I understood that networking was a key part in their success. So networking, if you guys aren't networking right now, you need to start networking, which means putting yourself in a place where you can make connections, build relationship, and take advantage of opportunities. Sales, on the other hand, sales is when you are selling yourself. Basically, you are doing outreaches, you're DMing people. It's things that you are in control of. So networking and sales are both things that the individual can be in control of. Now, assuming someone doesn't come to networking or any sort of sales skill, what they need to do first is build their brand. Once an artist takes care of their branding, then they can go to content creation. The branding always comes before content, because if you don't know where your brand is, you're not going to be able to put out content that's relevant for your audience. So branding, content creation, then distribution, then public relations, then advertising, then analytics. The right side is the foundation. The left side is marketing and amplification. Like, how do you add gas to the flame, right? So for the purpose of this presentation, we're just going to focus on the first two, which is branding and content creation, because this is very, very important for you to set yourself up for success. So our focus, instead of being on the full picture, is just going to be on branding and content creation. Then I'll go into data optimization. So we start with branding and content creation because It's what makes up your foundation. If you understand these two areas, you can achieve unreal growth without spending any money. So, first thing you need to do is figure out your plan of action. To grow successful as an artist, you will need to have a plan and execute on it. I ask every artist that I talk to, what are your plans? What are your goals? What is your plan of action? Like, what do you need to do first, next, second to achieve this? And none of them have an answer. So this process is called the think, plan, execute process. It's basically, the first thing you need to do is dream. Basically, what do you want to have in life? What do you want to accomplish? Start thinking about what do you want. Once you figure out what you want, then you go into the planning stage where you start planning out what needs to get done in order for you to achieve those goals. Then after you plan, you start to execute on those. Now, when you start executing, you're going to get a lot of feedback and a lot of data. And now with this feedback and data, you're going to reassess and then repeat the process. This is how you continuously improve and grow as an artist. You think, you plan it out, you execute, and then you optimize and repeat the process. So, what do you want? I actually recommend taking some time to actually write down what you want. And these are the questions I always ask. What will you be? Where will you be in 10 years? Right? Your success starts here. If you want to achieve something, you have to know where you're going. Plus, if you want something and you have a team, and people aren't mind readers, they're not gonna be able to know exactly what you want. So you need to clearly lay this out for them and show them where you want to go, because by showing them where you want to go, they can help you get there a lot faster. And this gets everyone on the same page. So this is very, very crucial. So once you do find your 10-year goal, you're going to break those 10 years down into 3 years, then your 1 year, and then your quarterly target. Now, let me actually talk about this a little bit more so you have an idea. Sometimes every artist is different. Some artists have goals of just wanting people to listen to their music. Some want to make money from their music. Some want to just be famous. Some want just people to hear their music and recognition. It's different for every single artist. So you need to do this. Now, let's use an example. Say you, in 10 years, you want to put out 100 songs. From there, you have to break it down to a 3-year picture, which means that in 3 years, you have to put out 30 songs. Now, if you break that down further, in 1 year, that means you have to put out 10 songs. Now, if you break that down further to quarters, that means a quarter is basically every 3 months. One full term is 12 months, 1 year, but there's 4 quarters in a year, so that's about 3 months per quarter. So if you break your 10 tracks down to 4 quarters, that's maybe like a little over 2 every single quarter. So that means every 3 months you must put out 2 songs, right? Say you wanted to put out 10 albums in 10 years. That means in 3 years you got to put out 3 albums, and in 1 year you have to put out 1 album. And then you break that album down into quarters, which means that each quarter you probably have to put out 2 or 3 songs to hit whatever your album target is. Hopefully you guys get that, because this is super important. Now, here are some questions to ask yourself if you don't know exactly where you want to go, right? So take a moment and actually answer these. How many albums do you want to have released? What artists do you want to collaborate with? How much money do you want to make monthly from your music? Do you have any record deals? What about hit songs? How many do you want? Are you touring? How many tours? Are you independent? Do you ever plan to donate to a cause? How much? How big is your team? Who's on your team? Do you want a huge house? How many square foot? Where? Are you selling merch? This is just to give you a start. The idea is unlimited. It's basically you. What do you want? Once you figure out that, you put it on paper so everyone can get on the same page. But this is how you create a team that can help you get to your vision. Everyone knows what the goal is, so everyone works together to accomplish that goal. So yeah, I just covered this, but you want to reverse engineer everything. You break the 10-year goal down into a 3-year picture, then a 1-year plan, then a quarterly target. Keep breaking down all your goals until you know what you need to do daily. So you can break down the quarters even further. You could break it down into weekly goals. Then you can break the weekly goals down into daily goals. Like you can break it down to as far down as you can by the minute. Again, this keeps you accountable, and your team is able to follow your vision. So yeah, you want to be very, very specific when you are creating these goals. I want to release 10 albums. In 10 years, I want to release 10 albums, which consist of 12 songs each. See, it's different. The more specific you are, the better. Clarity is key for you and your team to achieve this. The next tip is you want to set a due date for each item, right? Ideally, each one of your targets will have a specific date because, again, this is keeping yourself accountable. And urgency definitely helps you push projects further, right? It increases your chance of actually getting it accomplished. So let's talk about branding and positioning. I actually took out the definition from Google, so we're all on the same page. The process of communicating a unique selling proposition that sets a product, you, or service apart from its competitors. People often confuse brands with things like logo, slogan, other recognizable marks, which are just marketing tools that help promote goods and service. Now, positioning is where your product you stand in relation to other offering similar products or service in the marketplace, as well as the mind of the customers. So there's tons and tons and tons of artists out there. Branding and positioning is important because it's how you differentiate yourself from everyone else, right? Literally everywhere you go, there's artists. I talk to tons and tons of artists. On Spotify alone, there's maybe like 30 million artists. So there's tons of artists out there. So the competition is very high. So branding and positioning is super important. So how do you want to be seen? Right? This is called brand archetype. Every single company, every single artist, every single brand out there has a archetype. So yeah, how do you want to be seen? Nike is the hero, Chanel is the lover, IKEA is the everyman, it's for everyone. Apple is creators, Mercedes, Disney, every single brand has an archetype. What is your brand archetype? Basically, you can just look through this, right? The ruler, he's the best. The lover, intimate. And we'll go into this a lot further down the line, but basically, once you start looking through people's pages, you'll see a trend of the type of character they are, or the brand archetype that they are. And we're actually going to talk about this a little bit later. So, yeah, I want you guys to actually do an exercise. I want you to go and look up these artists that I have here to the right and categorize them as one of these archetypes. Now let's talk about brand colors, right? So have you chosen one yet? If you look through someone's page, you can also see that they're using a specific type of color. Whenever you get picked up by a record label, the first thing they do is they take over your social media. They take over your social media, they look at your brand, they help you create a brand, and they start matching you with content. They send you out to do photo shoots. They start working on your artworks. They create a brand for you. It's literally the first thing they do. So think about what kind of color. So each color um, emotes a specific type of emotion. So um, come up with a brand archetype. See if you can come up with a color emotion to fit your brand archetype and share the type of emotion that you want. And then next, this has maybe changed over the years, but it's still somewhat relevant. Each key has a different type of emotion. So when you're making music or producing music, you'll be able to, depending on the type of archetype and color that you pick, you're able to emphasize your emotion in your music. Just remember that people may not remember you by name, but they will remember how you made them feel. So by using all three of these, you're going to be able to strongly put yourself out there to the marketplace and differentiate yourself from everyone else. Now, your brand is like a person. Your brand has a name, it has a look, it has a voice, it has values, and it has reputation. So having a brand is the fastest way to grow and convert followers to fans. Why is that? Because people nowadays like to follow a person. They no longer really go after logos or brands that only have logos. They like to follow a specific person. They buy from a specific person, or at least at a higher rate from a specific person. So by you creating a brand for yourself, you're gonna be creating a name, a look, a voice, value, and reputation, which is basically you and your personality. Now, what I like to do is I like to tell all the artists that they should take a step back. And what I mean by take a step back is basically when people are posting, they just post to post. You got to understand that you're a business, and businesses, the most effective one, they actually look over their content before they actually post it. So if you take a step back and start looking at your brand, looking at your social media as a brand, you're able to make better decisions more effectively, because it's just a mindset shift. If you're just posting to post because you want to keep your current audience engaged, that's not necessarily building a brand. You want to take a step back and start looking at the type of content that you post and the type of content that will further your brand and separate you from everyone else. So I want you guys to try this. I want you guys to look up some big artists on Instagram and see if you can identify a brand flow on their page. So I have 4 examples right here. The first one is Tell of Us. You can see that their brand is a little bit, mysterious. Loco Dice is more of fashion. He uses bright color. Drake, he uses a lot of orange, and it's a lot of like logos, him in hoodies, like him showing off his jewelry, him in the studio. You can see trends when you look at all these people. If you look at Nike, on the other hand, Nike, it's all about highlighting skin complexion, showcasing a single individual or teamwork, right? So you can look at people's accounts and kind of see what their brands are. So I want you guys to actually try this. Go and find some artists, big artists, and look through their brand and see if you can identify a trend. Now, let's talk about stickiness. What is stickiness and how sticky is your brand? Basically, stickiness is when someone lands on your page, how likely is it for them to stick on your page and stay on your page? Now, when it comes to building stickiness, your content and your page and your brand should grab attention. It should keep attention and should convert that attention to making people want to follow you and become fans. This is why you aren't growing as fast as you'd like, because you aren't posting content and building a brand that grabs people's attention, keeps people people's attention and converts that attention. So stickiness is very, very important. So quick tip is your first 9 posts on your Instagram should be catchy, grab someone's attention, engaging, keep someone's attention, and want people to follow you when they do land on your page. So now we're getting kind of into the profile setup section, which is a lot of artists out there, they don't have their face in their icon. Now you can see a lot of the top artists, they all have a clear and visible image of their face. A lot of brands, clear, visible image of their logos. And what happens is, say you are an artist, but you also have a brand or a company. What happens is people start to associate you with your brand. For example, if you think of Tesla, you automatically think of Elon Musk. Or if you think of Elon Musk, you automatically think of Tesla, right? So by building your brand, you're going to be building representation between the two. Jeff Bezos, if you think of Jeff Bezos, you think of Amazon, and vice versa. So it's really important to start building this into, or building a brand and having your face, because people are going to start connecting you to your brand, which is why I'm saying that people more likely buy from a face than a logo. People invest in Tesla because of Elon Musk. People invest in Amazon because of Jeff Bezos. So here's some tip from like an old client. You want to make sure that your bio on your Instagram account is neat, and that you utilize the highlight section. So this is on the top, his old bio, and on the bottom left, that would be his new bio, which clearly tells people what to do. It says newest release, so, and points down, which incentivizes people to actually click the link. Now, the highlights can be very powerful because it allows you to tell a story. So I highly encourage you guys to actually start using your highlights, and the best place to create them is Canva. You just go on Canva and create your highlights there and just move it over to your Instagram. It's really simple and it's super effective because it also adds engagement to your page, and it makes your page a little bit different than everyone else. So now your cover photo should also have your face or your name. I recommend putting your face. You can see Black Coffee, he has his face everywhere on all his cover photos. Wiz Khalifa, his face is everywhere. And myself, my face is also everywhere. So I highly recommend you guys to start putting your face on all your cover photos and profile photos, because again, people want to follow a face. They want to see the person behind the project. So if you haven't done that, definitely go and do that. Now, when it comes to creating a bio, your bio should be consistent across all platforms. Here are some tips for actually creating your bio. You want to talk about or answer who you are, what you do, your accomplishments, your supporters, why you are different, your vision, and upcoming events, right? If you don't have a bio, definitely go and write a bio. This would be one of the priorities, I would say, so definitely go write a bio. Now, when it comes to links, make sure your links are up to date and pretty much everywhere. You can put your links on your Spotify, you can put your links on your SoundCloud, you can put your links on your Instagram. Also, in your highlights, you can put links to have people swipe up to send them to a specific place. Links are important because your fans will want to follow you on a bunch of different platforms. So by having the platforms all in one place on all your profiles, it allows people to connect with you on a bunch of different levels. So let's talk about your avatar. Part of building yourself as an artist and brand is knowing who your target audience is. This is a big thing when it comes to, one second, let me put this on silent. Do not disturb. This is a big thing when it comes to knowing who your audience is, because the type of crowd that you attract will be in a certain type of demographic. Like over time, if you were to look at the data of your audience, you can even check your Instagram insights and see who your audience is. It tells you the gender, it tells you the age range, it tells you the location, it tells you a bunch of things, right? So if you know your target audience, you'll be able to create music and content specifically for them, which will then get you the most highest conversion or engagement on your content. Now, the lifestyle section. In the realm of marketing, a couple of years ago, it used to be demographics centered. Now it's shifted over to psychographic centered. And basically what this means is to convert someone, it's easier to understand how they think. If you can understand their behaviors, you can convert them a lot faster. So if you know what kind of festival someone attends, what kind of TV show someone watches, what their philanthropy is, what places they go to, who their favorite artist is, you can start creating content and messaging around that to persuade them to become a fan of yours. So if you know an artist, or if you know Snoop Dogg's fan base or anyone's fan base consists of a specific type of person, and you want to take that type of person away from that fan base to become your fans, the best way to do that is to understand the audience. Once you understand the audience, you're able to make better decisions when it comes to creating content, comes to creating music, when it comes to creating anything. This is how you grow really fast. You have to understand your audience. Now, I want to go over brand pillar. So I get a lot of questions like, how do I build my brand? I don't know what to do. I don't know what to post. How do I know what to post? I'm stuck between this and this. Like, I don't know. The best way is to create a brand pillar. Now, you can see my brand pillar on the right. For my Adrian Barrin brand, which is music marketing, I show people that I'm an entrepreneur, that I like art, that I like traveling, that I'm also into music, and that I'm a marketer. Now, the chart on the left, you'll see that it's a calendar. Every single day of the week, I post content that revolves around my brand pillars. This eliminates the thinking process out of it, and instead of me thinking about what to post, I know exactly what I need to post or the messaging that I can write for that piece of content that day. So it just makes it so much easier to create content because I already have the categories that I focus on and simplified it to just this. So your brand dictates the type of content that you produce. This is why it's important to start off with branding, because once you figure out your brand, then you're able to create the kind of content that makes the most sense. Now, here's an exercise. You can do it yourself. Write out your 5 brand pillars. Take a second to do this, because once you do this, you're able to now post content that makes sense. For example, you could post music, entertainment. If you like animals, or you can post animals. If you a lot of rappers, show off cars, they show off money, jewelry, clubs. They show that they're in the influential circles. They show that they're very fashionable. These are all pillars that you can use, and it simplifies the process for you. So go ahead, take a second, and actually create your brand pillars. Now, how to create your own brand. Most successful artists have something unique about them that stands out. The fastest way I've found to separate yourself from everyone else is to create a brand persona. Now, basically what a brand persona is, it's once you start examining someone else's page and start looking at their page, for example, the exercise that you asked you to do earlier, you'll see that a lot of these artists, they have something different about them. For example, Lil Nas X, he is very flamboyant and dresses up in crazy outfits. He has a certain brand persona. There's a bunch of other artists out there that likes to mix art into their projects. So you'll see a lot of artists out there with animated versions of them. Drake and Big Sean do this a lot. They always have animated characters of them on their page. Kanye West, he has the mask, the Yeezy, the attitude. He has a brand persona. So if you want to become successful really, really fast and attract a fan base and audience to you really, really fast, create a brand persona. Like, for example, Travis Scott, his brand persona is he has all these trippy, illusional visuals in his music video. Again, that separates him from everyone else. Now, this also is dictated by the brand archetype and all that you picked earlier. So, use your archetype to create a persona and combine that with something that's totally different and build a brand around it. Now, where brands start. So whenever I talk to artists, the first thing I have them do is come to me with references. I always say, hey, send me your top 10 artists who are where you want to be. The reason I have them send me this is because it's always good to have references. Once you have references, it speeds up the process of brand building because again, it takes the thinking process out of it. You want to model people that's already working. Companies model each other. Brands model each other. Artists model each other. The fastest way to grow is to model someone who's already where you want to be, who is killing it. So don't try to reinvent the wheel. It's much more effective to model what's already working. So use those references to actually start modeling. So start off with 10 references. Start by, once you figure out who your 10 references are, go on their page and start studying their content. Start studying what their brand persona is, and start seeing what works the best for them. What kind of content is performing the best for them. If you could find the kind of content that's performing the best for them, it makes it so much easier for you to build your brand because you know what already works. So I highly recommend you guys to go back and look through some of these artists and see what their brand persona is, and see if you can create something similar to the ones that are your references. So study their best performing content. Model what's working for other artists. If it's working for them, this is a great chance that it will work for you as well. Note, this is exactly the methods that influencers use and theme pages use. We'll talk more about that later. So when you are looking at these artists' pages, you want to see which one of their posts has the most engagement, which one of their posts has the most views, which one of their posts has the most comments. You want to do this because it tells you what's working for them. And if you know what's working for them, if you were to recreate something similar, it increases the speed of your growth because you already know there's a marketplace for it. People already are showing social proof that it's working and it's something that they like. So if you're looking through someone's pages, so if you take Lil Nas X, if you look through his page and one of his posts has 800,000 likes and another post has 500,000 likes, the one that has 800,000 likes has way more social proof, and it shows that people like that type of content more than the one that has 500,000. So a smart artist will recreate something that has the 800K likes. It's using data to help you to advance and grow so much faster than if you were to just post content for no reason. So brand look. How do you create a brand look? The best thing that I found is to create a board. When you create a lookbook, a board, put all the photos in that board that would make sense. For example, I had an artist who wanted a kind of, sexy James Bond vibe. So we created a mood board for him. And based on this mood board, we were able to start capturing content that is relevant to him. Again, you're not reinventing the wheel, you're modeling what's working. So again, this was a different type of artist. He liked synth waves. So we found a mood board and created a mood board that will help us create content better and faster for his style of music. Right? So creating a mood board is super, super powerful. And I'll show you how to actually do that. Here's another one. A record label created a mood board for them. They didn't have any sort of brand before, but now by creating a mood board, we have a better idea of what would work for his brand and how to create his brand differently from someone else. So I highly recommend creating a mood board. Now the fastest and easiest way to create a mood board is Pinterest. You just go to Pinterest, create a board there, and then you can share the board with photographers and videographers so they have a better idea of what they should do or the kind of images that you want. Now I'll show you this in real time. Let me actually pull it up and Pinterest. So basically you just go to Pinterest. You go to Pinterest, you can literally type in any artist, and let's say Drake. Type in any artist, and then you can start seeing what type of photos this artist has, right? And if you click on one photo, it brings up tons of other photos similar to this one. Right, so I clicked on one photo. Now if I scroll down, it starts to populate a ton of other photos that is similar to the one that I just clicked on. So now I have like tons of references. Now you can go to mood board, or if you create a mood board, you just go to your account. And you see I have tons and tons of mood boards. Right, tons of mood boards that I have created or clicked. So let's see, unseen. I'm on Pinterest. Whenever I want to do a photo shoot, I go on Pinterest, or whenever I need content idea, I go on Pinterest, start collecting photos and putting it inside of a mood board. And you can do the same too. If you want to build a brand for yourself, just go on Pinterest and start creating a mood board. All right, so let me go back. Okay, so your brand persona dictates the type of content that you should put out. Again, this is what I was saying earlier. Once you figure out your brand persona, that's when you can start putting out content. That's why branding comes before content creation. You need to figure out your positioning in the marketplace, what separates you from every other artist. And once you figure that out, then you can start putting out content that makes sense for your brand and your audience. So in order for this to work super, super well, you should aim to have really good music and high quality music. So having good music is crucial. And now when you say your music is good and it's time to start putting out content, now we're heading into content creation part of this presentation. You need to become a content creator. Now there's different types of content that you can put out. There's music, there's blogs, there's images, there's videos, there's stories, there's live videos, there's demonstration videos. There's ways to generate free content. You can get testimonials from people. You can hold contests. The first person who, or the top person who creates a song to this video gets my track for free or gets a free merch. You do giveaways. There's tons of techniques out there that you can use to get people to create content for you. The person with the most content win. If you want to be influential in your space, you have to dominate content creation. You have to have tons and tons and tons of content. You have to out content other people for you to, because there's tons of distractions out there. People's attention span is so short. You really have to become a student and take content creation very, very seriously. So there's different types of, or there's different reasons for creating content. You want to use social media with intention. So basically what's happening is people spend hours and hours and hours on social media not doing anything. You want to become a student of social media and start creating folders, mood boards, start collecting content from other creators and other artists that is performing well and stuff that you actually like, right? So there's different reasons for posting content. There's different types of content and there's different reasons for posting those types of content. There's followers. You post content that is entertaining, you want more shares, you want it to go viral. There's trust, which is educational content and adding value to people or being the first to talk about something. This is building trust. And then there's conversion, selling product or selling your music or converting followers to fans, right? Converting people to actually buy your music. So there's different reasons to actually start posting: followers, trust, and conversions. We're gonna get into this a little bit more later. Now, when it comes to posting content, this is how you know that it's gonna perform well. There's something called a Barrin score. Its value, how rare it is, the inimitability, inimitability, non-substitutionable. So basically, value is what does your audience value the most about you? How rare is your content? Can someone replicate it? Is your content substitutable? Is it important for your audience? On a scale to 1 to 10, you want to rate your Barrin score. The higher your Barrin score, the more engagement you're going to have, the more shares you're going to have, the more people are going to follow you because you're putting out content that they've never seen or experienced before. So it's going to have a super high Barrin score, and this is how you go viral and people start following you, people start sharing your content and referring you to other people. You need to have a super high Barrin score. So whenever you're creating content, keep this score in mind. Now you want to test. This is why it's important to try as many of the different types of content as possible. You need to become a student of content, start collecting and studying the content of other creators and artists. Now there's two types of strategies, right? You have the Gary Vee model, you have the Russ model. Both of them are testing different type of content every single day, right? People love seeing something being made. It builds lots of trust. So show people the creation process and try to grab attention with your content. Have great visual content is what will make you stand out from everyone else. Again, keep in mind the Barrin score, right? So what I was talking about earlier was there's different types of content. Now, the best way I found is to either do trend surfing or funnel hacking someone or hacking someone, not in like the actual hacking way, but you're studying them and seeing the type of content they're doing. You're studying their likes, comments, shares, reposts, their ranking, and then you're hacking them, which is basically modeling their idea, right? So influencers do this all the time. They they jump on trends. They see what's performing super well, and then they start doing it because of the social proof, right? You have tons of challenges out there that everyone is doing. They're doing it because it works and it gets social proof. So this is what I'm telling you guys. Start modeling other people, start studying their content, and start using what works. Now, there's also trend surfing. Now, trend surfing is basically being one of the first to the market. It's finding out what's trending and copying it, or finding what's performing the best. There's tools like Google Trends. You could just go on Google Trends and type in a keyword, and it shows you the trends or the seasonality of a specific type of keyword. You also have the top 100 charts. You can go to Beatport, you can go to Billboard Top 100, or to an artist's top 10 tracks on Spotify, and start studying what is working for them when it comes to music. You can do Google search. If you type in the search bar, if you start typing in a word, it'll start populating other recommendations. This means that these recommendations are high search volumes. There's an Instagram discovery, which only pushes content that's pretty much going viral. TikTok is a really powerful platform for finding viral content. And then you have something called Google Keyword Planner, which basically you type in the keyword and it shows you the search volume of all the keywords. So you want to find what's trending and then create something around that. So it's about to be Christmas. So if you create content around Christmas, you're gonna get a lot more engagement because it's almost Christmas. But if you were to post something about Christmas in, let's say, March, then you're not going to get that much engagement because it's not trending at that moment. So use a bunch of these tools to try to find the best content to get you the most exposure. Again, you got to become a student and start studying what's working and jumping on trends if you want to see exponential growth. Now you can also do the theme page method, and basically what theme page does is they find content that's performing super well for other artists and other creative, and then they just repost it on their page and give credit to the creator. So you can see that in this example right here, on the left is the original content creators page. The theme page took that content and posted it on their page. This helps the theme page grow because they're putting viral content on their page. So if you were to find, so the perfect person that does this is Snoop Dogg. Snoop Dogg just posts tons of memes and posts tons of content from other people on his page, because if he does that, more people are going to discover his page because that content will most likely go viral and then get him on the discovery page. So you can use other creators' content on your page to help you grow a lot faster. That's exactly what theme pages do. Literally, there's hundreds and thousands of theme pages out there, and this is the method they find. They find content from other creators and repost on their page. You can do that as well if you're looking to grow really fast. A couple ways to find these content is to go on the Instagram search. You could just type in a hashtag New York City. It'll pop up the top post. Shots on iPhone, top post. You could type in hashtag certain artist. It'll pop up their top post, and then you can either recreate it in your own style, or you could just reshare it on your page like theme pages do. There's literally no right or wrong way to do it. You just got to be creative, and if you're creative enough, you can come up with super dope ideas based off what's already working. Now you can also create save folders on your Instagram. This is what I do a lot. Basically, if I find a post that I really like, I just click save and then create a folder. Now, whenever I need content ideas, or say I can't think of anything at the moment, I just go to that saved folder and then look through all the photos that I collected and create content around those posts. Again, it's similar to Pinterest where you're creating a mood board, but you're creating a content idea board. So if you're going through other artists' page and you see content that's performing really well for the other artists, create a board on your phone called content ideas and just save all those content in there. So when it's time for you to make content, you have a reference or place where you can go to start finding some content ideas. Now, I want to show you guys some TikTok strategies. TikTok has become one of the best places for any artist to grow. It's the fastest way. I'll give you guys I'll give you guys access to this document. It's a document I put together called TikTok strategies. And basically it goes through a lot of different strategies on TikTok that can help you go viral. A lot of these artists have a couple 100,000 monthly listeners and streams and making a lot of money specifically just by posting content on TikTok, because TikTok pushes your music. For example, let's look at some of these. This person on TikTok, there's a lot of people posting car videos, especially when it comes to music. In music, they're posting videos of themselves in a car playing their music. So right, so that's just one. You know, you can go through this. Lyric videos are really powerful, especially if you're creative. The more creative you are, the better. This is where it comes to doing homework. You have to study the content creators. You got to see what they're doing, see what's performing well. If you find something that performed well, 572,000 likes, 3,000 comments, 15,000 shares. Again, you guys can go through these, but there's tons of dope content creators out there who have thousands of monthly streams, like this guy right here, $1.4 million likes, 25,000 shares. And he's just an artist just like me and you. Right? So let me actually show you some of these guys' pages, just to show you. Some of them have 450,000 monthly streams, 230,000 monthly streams, 125,000 monthly streams. And this is just a few of them. Right? And this is specifically just by only posting content on TikTok. If you want to grow fast as an artist, you need to get on TikTok. You can look through these strategies, but you can literally see that they are going viral on TikTok by creating content, and you can do the same. Just go to their page, look through their content, and see what kind of content is working the best for them, and then recreate it. Look right here, 471,000 monthly listeners, all off of TikTok. How crazy is that? And the same thing can happen through Instagram. One of your content can go viral and then tons of people start listening to your music. So it's not impossible. Once you figure out your brand, you can start creating content around your brand, and you can start using this TikTok strategy and make content for both Instagram and TikTok and get tons and tons of organic streams without paying a dime in marketing. This is why branding and content creation is so powerful, and the first two steps when it comes to growing yourself and building your foundations. Once you build your brand and have dope content, once you start putting ad money behind it, that's when you start growing like crazy fast. So first thing I recommend is to figure out your branding, work on your branding, and start creating content around your brand that has the potential to go viral, to educate someone, add value, and to start selling people and converting them to your fans. Just like they converted 451,000 people to listeners on their page, right? So I want to talk about post frequency because a lot of artists actually ask me how often they should post. And I want you guys to think about it this way. A lot of artists are posting once a week. If you post once a week, that's only 52 posts a year, right? If we were to break the 24 hours into 5 different sections, 5 a.m., 9 a.m., 12 p.m., 4 p.m., and 7 p.m., that's, again, still only 52 posts a year. However, if you post once a day, now that's 365 posts a year, right? Now, I post about 3 to 5 times a day. If you were to compete with someone like me on a content level, I will grow way faster than you because I'm testing a lot more content and trying out a lot more different content than you. So the more frequently you post, the better. Again, it's whatever most comfortable for you. You can post as many times as you want, a day, a week. But from a marketing point of view, the more often you post, more frequent you post, the better. Now, for example, someone like me who posts 3 to 5 times a day, that's 1,000 plus posts a year versus 365 or versus 52 posts a year, right? I'm hitting people at multiple times of the day. Instagram and all these social platforms, they hold back, or they don't show your post to everyone. They show your post to maybe 10% of people. So if I'm getting my post seen by 10% of people by 9 a.m., another 10% at 12 p.m., another at 4 p.m., and another 10% at 7 p.m. Now I'm getting tons more organic reaches, getting more people engaging with my posts, and more people are remembering me because they see my content a lot more often, which means I'll get more streams on my music, right? So the more often you post, the easier it is for you to grow as an artist because people will see you more often, and people need to see you multiple times before they take action and actually becoming a fan or converting. So again, it's up to you. It's your comfort level, but from a marketing point of view, all theme pages, all influencers, big companies, they're posting multiple times a day. So I highly recommend that as well, but it's up to your comfort level. Now, so this is someone who will post once a day. That's 365 times a year, and only 10% of the people is seeing their posts every single day versus 40-50% if you post more frequently every single day. Now, I want to go over some cover song strategies, or one of the biggest strategies for growing on YouTube is called the cover song strategies. It's also very big on TikTok as well. If you look through that document, you'll see cover song strategies. A lot of artists create songs around popular songs, and then they consume or they attract a lot of the artist's audience, because if someone searches Adele but your video pops up because you're doing the cover for Adele, then you're going to consume a lot of her audience. So the strategy is to find big artists that just released a new song, and the faster you are to creating a cover for the song once it's released, the more of the audience you're going to acquire from that artist. Because people are going to go on YouTube, they're going to look for that video, or they're going to search hashtags, and then they're going to find your video, and then you're going to get tons of free exposure. A lot of these creators that you see here are doing that same exact thing. Doesn't matter what genre you're in. People are making covers for deadmau5. People are making covers for Adele, for Drake. They're all different genres, but every single person is doing it. You can put a twist on it too. You can make a pop version of one of Drake's songs, or a EDM version of one of Drake's songs. Cover song strategy is very, very powerful. So yeah, Drake, people are making cover songs for his music. Adele, people are making cover songs for her music. dead mouse as well. Good artists copy, great artists steal. A great artist will see another artist's style and then try and emulate that style as close as they are, as they can. A great artist will select elements from another artist's work and incorporate it into their own unique mix of influences. A good artist simply copies another artist's art. A great artist selectively takes or steals elements from multiple sources and then creatively combines their influence to create something that is uniquely their own. Again, model what's working. No reason to reinvent the wheel. Now, you can even do remixes of other songs and consume a lot of that audience. You can see right here, this person has 719 views by creating a remix of one of 69 songs. Someone right here has 4 million views by creating a remix for Swedish House Mafia's song. Right? There's tons and tons of strategies for growing organically on any platform. You could do the same thing as well on literally any platform. You can also use borrowed authority, which is basically taking someone else's image or their name and putting it in your title. So when DJs make mixes, they put famous artists' mixes in or name in their title. So for every artist that they make a mix to, they have the top artist name, a couple of the artist names in their title, even in the cover photo. You can do this as well. You look in music marketing, you'll see music marketers using images of celebrities in their cover photos. You can use borrowed authority because, again, it piques interest and people will click it and try to listen to you. So one tool that I like to use is Viral Spy. Basically, Viral Spy it takes the thinking process out of it. It takes the work out of it. So a lot of the times when you look for viral content, you have to scroll through someone's account and actually see the analytics manually. But Viral Spy just takes all that data and puts it all in one place. So for example, if we go to Drake's page and type in Drake, it'll take the top 50 posts of Drake based on likes or views. You can categorize what you wanted to sort by. So if you want to find his most liked post or most shared post or most shared watched video, you can just type in his name and then filter, and then it just shows you all his best posts, which then you could just go and replicate a lot of his posts, or whoever's artist that you're into. So when it comes to posts, you want to utilize as much of the screen as possible, take up as much of the real estate as possible. If you're creating a story or a reel, you consume the entire screen. If you're doing a post on Instagram feed, I highly recommend going 4:5, but if you want, you can also do 1:1 ratio. 4:5 takes up more real estate, so I post most of my content in 4:5. But yeah, try to consume or use all the real estate as possible when it comes to your posts on Instagram. Now, when it comes to growth, the best ways are to entertain, educate, use sex or hot girls, and dancing to get your music out there faster. Use celebrities as well to 10x your results, right? So if you can find a celebrity or create a song around a remix, you'll get a lot more shares. Or if you were to create something entertaining, you'll get a lot more engagement, a lot more shares. If you were to use beautiful people in your content, you will get a lot more shares and people listening to your music. A lot of artists use, in music videos, they'll use very attractive people, which will then get them tons more exposure. As well as using dancers. A lot of, you can send your music to a friend or someone and have them dance to your music. And by them doing that, it's one, showing people that people are enjoying your music and making content to your music, which makes you look more official. So these 4 categories right here is super powerful when it comes to building trust and getting exposure or going viral and having more people listen to your music. So try them out, test them out, and let me know how they work for you. And you get more points if you use celebrities in these places. So test them out. Now, there's I mentioned earlier the two types of models for when it comes to content. Russ on the left, he creates a song a week, so he does content once a week, while Gary Vee on the other hand does once a day or multiple times a day. It depends on your personality type which one you'd want to go to, but again, the more frequent you post stuff, the better. So you can decide, are you the kind of person that wants to release a song once a week, or do maybe a 30-day, once a day challenge? It's up to you. Both work, but if I was to choose, the Gary Vee's model will definitely outperform Russ's. You don't have to sacrifice quality. If you don't like a song, you can always delete it. That's the point of frequently putting out music. The more music you put out, the faster you can collect data, the faster you can know what the marketplace wants, and then the faster you can optimize that to make your future songs better. Again, everything's about data, and frequency. The faster you put out stuff, the more data you get back. So the person with the most content wins. As I mentioned earlier, theme pages, they post multiple times a day. This theme page posts one at 2 hours ago and another one 5 hours ago, and then a couple. And this was like midday, so I'm sure they would have posted about 3 to 5 times that day. Now the goal is omnipresence. The omnipresence is basically being everywhere at once. When you achieve omnipresence, that's when you become, when you have something I call the celebrity effect. More people will know you because they'll see you and they start to associate you as a celebrity. So omnipresence is key to your success, being everywhere. Artists or labels, they advertise artists, and you see billboards everywhere. You see their song on the radio. You see TV commercials. They're literally everywhere. This is why you remember them and start to associate them as celebrities. So omnipresence is key. The more frequently you post, the better. Now, finding the best music. I want to go over this as well. Streaming services has taken over. They're dominant now. There's no longer like the CDs or any of that. It's mostly now streaming. Most platforms allows listeners to engage and interact with music on their platform. This is good because it allows you to analyze the best performing song. So if you go on other people's pages, other artists' pages on any platform, there's usually data there, meaning plays, likes, reposts, comments on their music. So you can identify which one of their songs has been performing the best. And you can do the same exact thing. Just listen to their music and model what's working. See, first, if you want to use Spotify, you just go on Spotify, type in the name of the artist, go to search, and then it's gonna pull up that artist, and then you can look at his songs. There's a reason why this song has 1 million streams versus another song that has 500,000 streams versus another song that has 22 million streams. Smart artists would go listen and analyze the song that has 1 billion streams because it has social proof. There's a reason why it's working and a reason why it's performing so well. So you should do this for the artists that you're using as your reference. Look through their song, listen to their music, find the songs that perform the best for them. And then once you find that song, start studying, become a student, listen to the kind of beats they use, listen to the lyrics they use. By studying their music, you're going to put yourself in a better position to make better music for yourself later on. And once you start making better songs and hit songs more and more based off of these references that you use, you're going to have a database of just amazing music, and you're going to grow crazy fast because now all your songs are high quality. Why are they high quality? Because it performed well for someone else. So this is increasing the chances and the odds of you making amazing music. So definitely go and do this because it works. Another technique is you can go to the song radio. So if you click more, which is right by a song, and then click go to song radio, it'll suggest you all the songs that sounds similar to that song. So now you have unlimited amounts of music you can listen to and model. The list just goes on and on. Each artist and each song has a song radio. So just study all of the songs, listen to them, and try to figure out what works best. You can also send these songs or this music to your producer and ask your producer to make a beat that's similar to this beat. Now, over time, as you have all this great music, people will probably start to categorize you and say, oh snap, your music sounds just like X. This is a great thing because now they're associating you with someone else, right? Oh, your music sounds like Justin Bieber. Oh, your music sounds just like J. Cole's, right? So as you do that and as you start growing your database of songs that are high quality and sounds that are high quality, people start to categorize you with other artists, which then helps you because then Spotify would even recommend you to other artists. Now, the best way I found to keep accountable is to create a release calendar or a release schedule. By putting it on the calendar, you're keeping yourself accountable, and it makes you commit to it. Because if you don't schedule it out, you know, it'll just fly by, right? Like you won't keep accountable and you won't try to hit that deadline. This is why it's important and why we went over in the beginning. It's always good to be specific and create a due date for all your tasks. If you have dates, the chances of you hitting it increases. So if you know exactly when you're going to be releasing music, you're going to hit that date a lot higher than if you did not know or did not have a schedule. Now, this is the last section, which is data. All these platforms have data. They give you data on the places people are listening to your music, the amount of streams you get on a particular music, the gender of the people listening to your particular music. This is super powerful because it helps you as an artist make better music and make more of specifically what works. So by knowing what works and by making more, now you're being able to put out more high quality music. So this combined with your own data, trust me, super, super powerful, and you could grow crazy, crazy fast. So start paying attention to your data. Now, again, this was branding, content, and data optimization. This is the foundation. If you do this right, you can become very, very successful without putting in any budget into music. Content creation is key if you want to stay on a low budget and grow super fast. But once you start having amazing content, which is music, content is great music, and content is great posts or content videos to promote your music. Once you have this, then you can grow crazy fast. And then if you were to put advertising and public relation into that, it's just crazy how fast you grow. You can just look at what happened to TikTok people. The people on TikTok, all they do is content. And because all they do is content, they don't have to pay for any promotion. They have hundreds of thousands of streams. They're making money from Spotify. They probably have brands reaching out to them to ask them to make content for them. So they're making money from the brand side. So literally, if you have your branding and content side taken care of, the foundation built, your growth is unlimited. And like it's actually really exciting because there's tons of artists out there who don't really have money. As long as you put in the effort and you put in the work, you can become very successful. So I'm super excited to have shown you guys this. And there's another thing that you guys can do, which is the Instagram Insights. If you go on Instagram, you can go to the Insights tab Then you can see your demographics, and then you could see the best time to post your post. You see what locations they're in. You can see the gender, and again, this helps you, release better content as you're optimizing. Remember that chart in the beginning that I showed you? You think, plan, execute, and then repeat. Think, plan, execute, optimize, and repeat. So you can also look at your content. You can filter your content for 7 days, 90 days, 1 year, 5 years. You can just go to the insight section on your page, and then you can click content, and then you'll have a tab on the top that allows you to filter. And if you look at the bottom right, you can filter by reach, likes, profile visits, comments, shares, videos, photos, the length. The reason I'm so big on this is because data is crucial. It's super important, and it's the reason why I was able to sell so much in products. The reason why I was able to take companies and artists from nothing to something, because we're always consistently looking at the data. If you look at my data right here, I have a post with J. Cole, and that post got 56,000 views and reached 56,000 people. If you look at the bottom right, I have another post that has 3,600. Why on earth would I post or create another post that only gets me 3,600 when I could create more posts that reach a ton more people, similar to J. Cole's post? That's what data does to you. It allows you to see what's working, allows you to start creating and posting more of what's working. That's why I'm stressing this so much, because it's the differentiator between artists that are amazing but get zero growth, and artists that are not that amazing or amazing and get tons and tons of growth. So yeah, I just want to revisit this again. There's a process to growing. There's a process to growing, and just follow the process and trust the process, and you will get there. The process I'm showing you right now, which build a foundation, you don't need any money. All you need is energy, effort, and creativity. Think about where you want to go, what you want to do, plan how you're going to get there, execute on it, and start implementing everything. Reassess what you've done by looking at the data, and then repeat. All right, keep doing this, and you're bound to do great things and become very successful as an artist and grow really crazy. I want to say thank you guys again for investing in yourself. I want you guys to keep me updated with your success, and if you have any questions, definitely reach out. I'm gonna have links, or a couple links under this video, a link to my Facebook group that you can join the community, and a link to the TikTok strategy. And also message me on Instagram and follow my YouTube channel if you want more free advice. But by investing in this alone, I already know you're going to do great, because you're the type of person that invests in themselves and care enough about their growth to want to put money into it. There's people out there who want great stuff and want to be big, but they're not willing to spend money for their education, and that is what separates you from them. Because you have shown that you care a lot about your growth, the universe is gonna give it to you. It's gonna put success in your way. So definitely hit me up if you have any questions. And again, thank you for investing in this course. And if you have any questions, join my Facebook group. I have a community there that can help you answer your questions, as well as myself. I do live videos every Friday, so you can speak to me directly there as well. So peace, and I wish you the best success in your career.